Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jennifer State and this is Coloring Bliss, our weekly live event. This is part 2. First part was over on Facebook. Now we're here with you on YouTube. We've been doing some grayscale coloring, having lots of fun. Over on Facebook we did grayscale coloring with color pencil. Now we're going to do grayscale coloring with markers. So this is a free download for a limited time. If you want to come and download it and participate, color along, or try and color it your way, make these leaves purple, make them whatever you want, polka dots, whatever you want to do to it. Go for it. It's your coloring page. I have some other coloring pages that you can download now if you're a premium member of our website. Steve has made them available. They're grayscale autumn coloring pages. I'm going to have him show those to you here in just a minute. I also wanted to remind you that we now have a Swatch Bliss coloring book that you can download in our shop over on my website, coloringbliss.com. So come check that out. It's a digital version. So if you live internationally and you've been wanting one of my new Swatch Bliss books, but you didn't want to pay that high, horrible cost for shipping, then this digital version is for you. So come on over to my website and check it out. It's pretty awesome. Has a little bit of everything in one digital version. So we also have the free digital gifts come for orders right now, still going on. So that is going on too. And also, like I said over on Facebook, I am so excited for all of you that have decided to participate with Inktober with me. I am so honored that you have been inspired and want to do it with me. Today is day 3 and I have 3 tips for you. I mentioned them over on Facebook and I'm going to mention them real quick here for you guys that follow me on YouTube. It's really important. 3 quick tips. The first tip, I have them written down right here. I also put them in the description of this video. The very first thing I want you to remember is don't compare. I do not want you comparing yourselves to everyone else who is out there doing Inktober art. Okay, I know how intimidating it is. It really doesn't matter what level of art you're on. You're always going to find someone who is way better than you and can make you feel like you are just terrible at art and shouldn't be doing this. So don't compare yourself. Just stay in your little bubble and be proud of what you're doing and proud that you are doing it. So don't compare. Tip number 2 is I want you to give encouragement. If you're out there sharing your art, think how great it feels when someone gives you encouragement. And I want to encourage you to go out and tell others around you that they're doing great too. We have our Facebook group. A lot of people are sharing their Inktober art there. So if you see someone who's been brave enough to share their Inktober creation there, just, even just a little like, a thumbs up or something there is really helpful to those of us who are being brave and doing Inktober. So if you're also doing Inktober, make sure you go out and give out a little bit of love too, because it's really helpful. And the third tip right here is celebrate. I want you to celebrate that you are accomplishing even 1 or 2 days in Inktober. If you did that, celebrate that. If you make it 15 days into Inktober, celebrate that. If you make it and you've missed a couple days, but then you decided to pick it up and keep going, celebrate that, okay? Don't be hard on yourself. Remember, set yourself up for success. If you have to stop for some reason, don't be hard on yourself, okay? So those are your 3 tips for day 3 of Inktober. Okay, I'm so proud of you guys. Thanks for joining me with this journey. I'm having so much fun. Follow me over on Instagram. That's where I'll be posting my pictures, hopefully daily, although I'm not going to be hard on myself if I happen to miss a day. I will catch up though and post multiple pictures if I do get behind a little bit. So you can watch for that if I do miss a day. So. Okay, that's Inktober. Steve, I wanted you to share with them your other 2 photos that you have made for them. I already showed them the download that they can come and get for free. Great. And I wanted you, because this is your photography. Now remember, I've already lectured you once over on Facebook.
Yes.
I did this, don't compare yourself to other artists. And then I said, now Steve, show us your photography or your grayscale pictures. And then he just started
I got in trouble.
He got in trouble because he started comparing himself to other photographers. And like I just told you, you can always go out and find someone who's better than you. And he was being really hard on himself. And so I had to lecture him. So we're not going to repeat that. So here.
No, we aren't. Look at these lovely, lovely photos. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so you mentioned that was the free download. These are for premium members. And this photo I had taken when we were, about a year ago, we were up in the mountains. We love the mountains around here. We're in Utah. Lots of mountains. This was a beautiful fall day. That's a premium download. And then this one I had taken when I went with my son on a scout camping trip.
Yeah.
The beautiful sunset and the trees, and anyway, I really like this one. So when you go to our website and you go to download these pages, I've also included full color reference photos for you. So, if you feel like, I don't know where to start with this, it'll at least give you some idea of what it looked like when I took the photo. You don't have to color it like that, but if you'd like to, it's there for you.
Which I think is really cool. Steve's gone above and beyond to include all those full color images for us. So, and it's helpful to me because like images like this or even like this one, sometimes it can be like, where does the path start? Where do the trees begin? Is that a bush or is that part of the quaking aspen? I don't know. Sometimes my perfectionism kicks in and I want to make sure that bush is a bush and that tree is a tree. Other times I don't really care and I can make it up along the way. But sometimes I want to know. So Steve's been kind enough to include the full images, the full color images so I can go in and see.
Bring him up and show him real quick.
Okay, he's going to our website right now.
So again, if you go to the download page, for instance, this leaf. Let's we'll bring that
he's
one up.
bringing up this one right here.
So
what's that ad that just came up?
For Venom.
I don't even know what that is. Is it a movie?
That's like the Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm so out of the loop. Okay, so that's the one we're coloring today. I should have put way more orange in it. Look, I went too far on the yellow end when I was doing color pencil.
Well, again, that's your choice, though.
Yeah, but now I want to try more orange with the markers.
Yeah, there's a lot of really vibrant red in there, too.
Really reds and oranges. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then, so this photo, that's what the original looked like.
Yeah, look at that blue sky and so yeah, that would help you to know, wow, that you could go really deep. And then he's got the color swatches off to the right, so you could actually match up your tools if you wanted to.
Yep. And there's that one.
That's so cool. I think you're a good photographer.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're the best in the whole wide world.
Shucks.
Yeah, we got Rose back in her original bed again instead of just... Oh, there she's poking her head out. Hi, baby. You're so cute in this bed. Yes, you are. Okay, so I think we've taken care of business and we can dive in and get these markers going. I have my Cali Arts handy here. And of course the Cali Arts, I have made a swatch chart. I need to make a new swatch in our swatch book. I really need to do that because they would be, I think, better in the bigger swatches. But for now, this little chart works just fine. It's getting a little beat up, but it's fine. So this is what we worked on over on Facebook, which I really like how it turned out. But now, after seeing the original image, I wish I'd gone even deeper orange, which I could have. But I think the yellow's pretty too. So, but I want to try going deeper into the oranges this time, into maybe like these kinds of tones. So I'm going to start pulling some oranges, Steve, and maybe you can read some comments while I'm pulling some oranges out. And some yellows. We need some yellows. We're going to talk about grayscale in general. I'd love to know, those of you who do grayscale, any tips you guys have or ideas are much appreciated. Yeah, let's see, maybe some deeper orange too, like an orangey brown might be good. Y826 maybe? 826. This one here, that does not look like, maybe it's kind of like that. And maybe, do we dare go all the way to Y648? Okay, we'll pull that guy out. And I'm wondering about even maybe one lighter than Y107, like Y003. That gives us a real broad spectrum. That gives me a real good choice. Everything from really light to really deep.
Judy was asking about the premium membership. Yeah, Judy, if you just go to coloringbliss.com, and there's a link on there that says premium membership, and you can learn more there.
You're not going to do the spiel? I do the spiel almost every week. Do you want to do it this week?
Go for it.
Premium membership is just $5, and for $5 you can get access to our entire library of coloring pages, and which is like over 400 coloring pages that you can download throughout the month. It's for a full month. There's also worksheets. It gives you discounts in the shop. Plus, it just supports our Coloring Bliss business. So it's a great way to support us. So you can cancel it anytime you want. Yeah, it's a great way to do it. Okay, we're going in to coloring on this page. Now, we were discussing this over on Facebook, that sometimes when you use certain kinds of art products on top of any kind of printed image, sometimes it can loosen the toner and it can cause some problems. So we do want to be a little light-handed with what we're doing here. A little cautious, like we don't want to go in there and just rub with the marker tips, because we could accidentally lift up some of that toner. Just want to be a little cautious of that. So I think that's probably my only warning.
So Margaret's son Wyatt, who's 5,
tried
to show us that she has the same purple case for her markers.
Really?
Yep.
I actually love this case, Wyatt. Do you love it too? Did you get purple because purple's your favorite color?
It's her mom's. Or his mom's, I mean.
His mom. Well, your mom has good taste in the color of the cut of the case. And I love it so far. Although I haven't hauled it around the house much. So, but I love this part of it. So, anyway, I think we'll start with some, usually I start with the lightest tones, but I'm kind of feeling, I don't know. Like I said, I wish I'd gone more orangey. So I'm going to shift these guys over here and go for this. I'm just going to go for it, Steve.
Go for it.
There are no mistakes.
Polly's in the studio tonight. Leah working on a commission for her vet. She wants 50 pet sympathy cards.
Oh, I think Polly was mentioning that on, where were you telling me this, Polly?
Maybe on the group or something?
Yeah.
Luminaria says, I'm thinking about investing into Copics. What color family or colors would you recommend that are not a lot of money?
Oh, boy.
Copics and not a lot of money don't really go together, do they?
No.
Maybe the Chows.
The Chow line is the least expensive line of the Copics. And the Chows are exactly the same ink, exactly the same... Sorry, it's hard to color and talk at the same time. The Chows are exactly the same ink and exactly the same tips as your sketch markers. Sorry, it's going to be noisy just for a second. Okay. Here is a sketch marker. Here is a Chow. So the only difference is this body is elliptical and holds more ink, and this body is round, holds less ink. That's the only difference. Oh, and these have the names on the end caps. But other than that, the Chows have fewer colors to pick from, so that's a little bit of a disadvantage. But you can use the same ink refills, all that stuff. So if you're looking to save money but get into Copic, the Chow is a good place to begin.
Nick says he was using Cali Art markers earlier on a picture.
Oh, cool.
And let's see, Kenneth says that he had an issue with the Grayscale. He says that happened to me, what Jennifer just said, and what a disaster.
Yeah. We're going to see if that
happens. It looked like
happens.
a blue blob rather than a blue ornament.
Yeah. Let's see if it happens to me, shall we? Let's see what happens here. And I've got my Cali Arts, which we love the ink in the Cali Arts. We love the cost of the Cali Arts. We love that you get, what is it, 100 of them? Yeah, 100 of them. There's a lot to love about Cali Art, but there is no beautiful brush tip with the Cali Arts. And when I use my Cali Arts, I tend to be more heavy-handed because there is no lovely brush tip. And that could spell disaster. Maybe that's what the title of this video should be. Is Jennifer going to create a disaster here? I'm kind of trying to sort of block out this whole leaf in one color, but really concentrating the majority of the deep orange here in the shadows. That's my plan. We're seeing if this is all going to go astray, then we'll know. We'll see. Now we are working on the marker paper. That gives us a bit of an advantage. Oh, I went out of the lines a little bit. That's okay. There are no mistakes. Okay. Sounds like our neighbors are doing some work out there. I think this is how I want to do this. This is either going to be a great success or a great learning experience. I think this is how I want to do this. Well, it's too late now.
Daryl asked if you have a preference between Cali Art and Ohuhu.
I prefer the Cali Arts. The Ohuhus I've had, I love that name. Ohuhu.
Yeah.
The Ohuhus I've had a few go dry really fast, unexpectedly. Now, Ohuhu has a new line. I don't know if it's just a new body or what, so I can only speak to the one set of Ohuhus that I purchased. Kind of hard to keep up with those companies that are coming in from, I think it's China.
Margaret says she loves her case, and Wyatt's favorite color is orange. And he loves coloring with her.
Well, I picked Wyatt. I picked Wyatt's favorite color right now. Orange used to be our son's favorite color too. Okay, I've just decided to go full on here.
Nancy asked, what setting do you use on an inkjet printer for grayscale printing? We actually don't have an inkjet anymore, so I haven't been able to really experiment with that.
Yeah, we've talked about buying one just to test.
A couple things that I would consider if I were going to be testing it is, one, I would get inkjet paper because it's supposed to accept and absorb the ink better and make it so it doesn't bleed as quickly.
There's supposed to be a difference.
So that's one thing that I would try. The other thing you can try is if you're using a thick paper, most printers will have a setting when you go to print that if you tell it that it's thick paper, it'll take a little longer to send the paper through. And what it's doing on a laser printer is it's actually, baking in that image a little more. It's just going through a little slower. So I would assume on an inkjet you'd probably have something similar.
What setting was that?
You can tell printers what kind of paper you're printing on.
Oh.
And it will adjust the settings in the printer accordingly. So, like photo paper, it'll do it one way.
Right.
If it's just cheap, thin copy paper, it usually goes through pretty quick.
Oh.
If you're using thick cardstock, it also slows the printer down a bit.
Silly me. I just thought it was like had to do with the rollers or something.
Well, it does have to do with that too, though.
I love that just washing this leaf with just the one color, like you could stop there. Look how pretty it looks, Steve, just washing it with one color.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But I'm going in now with my next tone, which is terracotta. And I'm going to deepen up these overlaps, give it a little more, because it's looking a little bit green tint. The gray coming up through that orange I used is looking a little greenish. So I want to warm that up.
So Luminaria is wondering on the Copic sketches,
yeah,
what would you recommend getting started with? Like a grayscale set, a skin set, or maybe one at a time?
The sets tend to be less expensive.
So maybe like they have like a primary color set, like where you have your basics, red, green, blue, yellows, that kind of thing?
Yes. So, when you go on Amazon or Blick, well, mainly Amazon, the sets are like all over the place. One set will be one cost, the next set's $10 cheaper, the next set's $20 more money. It's really frustrating. So, you can go in and start shopping around and looking for a good deal, and then if I have a set that I really want, what I usually do is drop it in my Amazon cart and let it sit there for a few days. You guys know this. Then all of a sudden something will go on sale and it'll alert you when you go on in your Amazon cart, and it'll say blah 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 item has just dropped in price. And so maybe eventually that one kit or set will drop in price, and that's a good way to get that set on a good deal. I would think about how do you color? What kind of things do you color? So I invested in the skin color Chow set because I think alcohol markers do a fantastic job on skin color. So that was a really good idea for me, was a skin color set. Another thing I color a lot of is like flowers and stuff. So I think they have a set that has kind of floral tones. So you could get a set like that. They have like basic sets. Copic makes basic sets like Steve was explaining, like this one that has a lot of primary colors, a black in it, that kind of thing. The problem with this kind of set is there are no or very few good light, medium, and dark blends. So you get home with this and you're like, yes, I'm going to color with my Copics. All my dreams are about to come true. But how do you blend like these two, a purple and a pink? That's a big jump in tones, and you're going to get frustrated really fast trying to blend these things together, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm a failure. I don't know how to color with markers like this, and blah blah blah, and Jennifer said I could do it, and da 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 da, and I'm a failure. I just spent $50 and whatever. So there at a point, then it becomes where, yeah, maybe you do want to go to a store where you can buy it open stock and buy, like, maybe purple's your favorite color, and you buy a light, medium, and a dark purple. And now you say, now I want a green set too, and I'll get a light, medium, and a dark green. That kind of thing. Now, Copic has its own special numbering system, and I'm not even going to go into that. There's whole videos dedicated to the numbering system, and you can buy certain sets of colors. Let's see, Jezza, he has a video dedicated to what markers he would recommend you buy. That's a really good video. Bailey J, she has a video video recommending colors to buy. That's another good video. So I would recommend those two YouTube artists. Jezza, I can't remember what his full channel is about, what the name of it is. But
Drawing with Jezza.
Drawing with Jezza. Look up his channel and look for his recommendations on what colors to buy. He gives you some good suggestions, and so does Bailey J. But that's my issue with some of their sets, is there's no light, medium, and darks. Maybe But look at that jump in tone. That's a huge jump. To go from a blend from that to that is going to take skill, man. You got to have some skill to get from that to that. So, I don't know. At some point, but their skin tone set has really good, like you can make some good light, mediums, and darks in there. Get some pink cheeks. That was pretty good, and that's why I invested in this one, because I felt like there was some good transition colors. I could work with this. So that's why I got that set. But then I was like, at that point, I'm like, oh man, I'm just going to invest in a different brand and have lots of light, mediums, and darks. And yeah, that's the route I went. That was a long answer, but I want you to understand when it comes to alcohol markers, you need, light, mediums, and darks, or you're going to feel frustrated really fast. Yeah, long answer.
So somebody had asked about Studio71s and how you think they compare to Cali Arts.
Studio71s, I believe, had a brush tip, right?
Yeah, I think so. I remember you really liked them.
Yeah, I liked them. It seemed like the brush tip started to collapse on me. Yeah, I remember now. The brush tips on them, they are fine, but they don't last forever, which is fine because the Studio71s are not refillable, if I remember right. So they're going to be great. What am I trying to say? They work fine until the ink runs out, which is perfect, right? As long as that brush tip survives until that ink runs out. Now I'm thinking they may have been.
Yeah, it might be.
So they were good. They cost a little bit more than Cali Arts, but you get your brush tip.
Well, and especially if it's brush tip and open stock. I'll look real quick though and see.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty dark, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the Studio71, like I said, the brush tip, no one can, I still really like my Blick. These guys right here are really good. If you're looking for a brush tip alternative to Copic, this is really good. Not as many colors as Copic though. Okay, that's like a shadow coming up through that leaf. Well, what am I doing? I could be using the fine point end. That's better. Use your tool, Jennifer. Use your tool. Okay, I'm just laying in some ink into the veins so that the gray of the veins.
My Happy Place Crafts asked what kind of marker paper you're using. I put a link. But it's, your favorite marker. This one is 100 pound. It's 271 GSM, so it's pretty thick. And if I remember right, our Brother laser printer, which is just kind of a home laser printer, had a really hard time pulling it through. I think part of the problem too is it's super smooth.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for the rollers to grip onto it.
Now that Brother, it won't pull it through unless you sit there and help it.
So I know you really like the 100 pound for marker coloring is amazing. That's why we use it in all of our books. But for our paper sampler, we do the 60 pound because it's more compatible with home printers, inkjets, and lasers.
Yeah. Okay. So far, I don't feel like the ink has budged. The laser printer ink. Okay, I'm coming in now. Let's push this ink. Let's see if I can cause a problem. Okay, this is right in this part of the leaf. You can see the gray of the toner is in here, so that's kind of giving me a hint that this part is supposed to be a deeper tone. So I'm going to hit it with this darker orange, and then use my yellowy color to help blend it out. So this is really going to be pushing that toner now. If I was being conservative and careful with my toner, this is the part I would say don't do this to your toner, to your paper.
My Happy Place Crafts just gave us $1.
Oh, thank you. It actually, I don't think people who don't have a YouTube channel, I don't think they realize how many views it would take to earn $1 on YouTube. So really, thank you. $1 is a lot of views on YouTube. Okay.
Michelle says she was Jen-abled.
Uh-oh.
Jen-abled.
What did I do? What did you buy this time? Okay, blending out the edge.
Let's see. Tammy, oh, they're mentioning the digital book.
Yeah.
You mentioned that at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
That's Adrienne, I think, mentioned that, but Tammy was asking about it.
Yeah, Steve, you want to tell them about it? I'll hand it to you, and I'll keep working here. I'm going to keep pushing this toner and see if I can make it budge.
And someone was asking if we're going to do more like that. We'll have to consider that. If you'd like to see that, then yeah, we definitely are interested. We did have a lot of requests for this one, especially for our international friends, those outside of the U.S. Shipping is just such a beast.
So
to try to get
expensive.
this stuff. Yeah.
It's more expensive than the books to ship.
Yeah. So we basically what we did is we took volumes 2 and 3 of Swatch Bliss and put them into one PDF download. So when you buy this, it's I think $11. That's what we made it. And I don't know if you can. It's hard to get it in frame here. But anyway, yeah, it has the fun pages of volume 3, and then the basic rectangles that are in volume 2 of the of various sizes, and a few little notes from Jennifer. Yeah. Anyway, something that you can download and then print on your own home printer and on any paper that you want. And yeah.
Okay. I wish that I could get the streaks to blend out just a little bit more over here and over here.
Let's see, Twitty asked a Blick or open stock as well, right?
Yes, they are. That's why I like recommending these.
I know they're a little more expensive, but you always seem to come back to the Blicks. Like, they really seem to be, of all of the testing I've seen you do, it seems like the Blicks are probably the closest Copic alternatives.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I'm not the only artist that has said that. Like every time someone on YouTube does a review of these, I watch it because I'm curious to see if I'm the only one that has been so impressed with them. And yeah, lots of people are impressed. The only thing most people say is, come on, Blick, come out with more colors, for crying out loud. You're making such a good product. We want more. That seems to be, and plus we'd like refills. If they would do those two things, they would blow Copic out of the water for price. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about my leaf. What do you think of my leaf? So, you know, half the time of what we spent, of course, markers are always thus, aren't they? It is always thus with the markers.
So did you get any bleeding, lifting of the toner, anything like that?
That's as much bleed through. I don't think it actually got on my pad. I didn't see any toner move.
Well, that's good.
Right here, it did something a little odd. I'll bring it up. but nothing that I'm like, oh, it ruined it. Something strange happened. I think what happened here, and that's where I actually saturated the paper. So what has happened here is I reached the point of, nope, I'm not taking any more ink. And that's why it looks that way right there. So if you ever get to a point where your paper is just like, what's going on? It's not blending anymore. It's going kind of muddy looking. Flip it over and check your paper, because I will bet you have filled up all the fibers right there, and it's just going muddy now because the fibers are done. You've drenched them, you've filled them. I can't remember what the actual term is, but that's what's happened right there, and that's why it looks funny. Yep. So very interesting. Okay, let's compare it to the one I did with color pencil. Yeah. Don't we love our alcohol markers? Look, Steve.
What happened?
Well, just the comparison.
Oh, as far as vibrancy and
yeah, alcohol markers are just so fun. They're fast and wow.
Yeah, so, saturated. Yeah.
Yeah, saturated. I just saturated the fibers, which is fine because I was done with that spot. But what if I wasn't? What if I felt like, oh, I really want more depth there, more color? Then I would have been really frustrated. So that's why we tread lightly and why we use such good paper, right, you guys? So I had the fibers enough to do it. What if I had been coloring on just cheap copy paper? That's why you get frustrated. That's what... This is why I am...
Uh-oh, is this a soliloquy starting?
It's soliloquy time. It's kind of like with the Gamsol, the odorless mineral spirits. I was talking about this over on Facebook, how it frustrated me that artists weren't sharing these tricks, these things. They can create these amazing pieces of art, and they're, I just use color pencils and lots of blending and lots of practice. And they never tell you that, and they also were using odorless mineral spirits and really good paper, and like they have these tools, these things they do, and that's why their results are like far and above better than what anything any of us were producing at the time. And then secrets were starting to come out, right? And now they share them all the time on YouTube, thank heavens. Well, it's the same thing with things like this kind of paper. Once everybody started sharing these secrets that, they weren't just sitting down with alcohol markers on copy paper and coloring, right? They're using the best kind of paper, and they have skills, they have tools. And so, yes, if you sat down, like whoever it was talking about purchasing Copic markers, what if they ran to Hobby Lobby and bought this set and came home and started coloring on their copy paper, and they were like, I just invested all this money in these Copic markers and I'm not getting the same result, and now I'm mad and frustrated, and it's because I'm a horrible artist. And that's not true. It's because they didn't have the right kind of paper and nobody told them, and rawr. So that's why I'm here. I really do feel very passionate about making sure that you guys know it's not you. It's because nobody told you. You just needed better paper. And as soon as you got the better paper, then all of a sudden things get easier. I tell this to my kids all the time. You just need the right tools. As soon as you have the right tools in your hands, everything gets easier. Everything gets better. You gotta have the right tools.
Huh. And it makes me wonder, like Anna's saying, every time I try markers on Grayscale, the picture disappears.
I wonder what's going on. So I would ask you what paper you've got it on. Are you using a really dark marker that's like totally washing out all the gray?
Is it inkjet? Laser that you're printing on?
So many variables.
When you're printing, are you selecting things like a thicker paper stock on your printer?
Yeah, like I would be wondering, is the marker colors like just hiding all of the toner, or is the toner actually getting rubbed off? That would probably be my question. Yeah, because I think Steve's coming from a printer question, like what's happening to the toner on the paper. Yeah. My first thoughts were going to, is it her markers? Are they too dark? Are they you know, hiding all the toner.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first
maybe her
thought.
color choice or something. Or...
Yeah. So those are a couple thoughts for you. So, yeah. All right. You've been lectured and soliloquied. Let's get back. I want to try making this next leaf. What I would like to try now is washing this next leaf in more of a mid-tone orange and then coming on top of it with some colored pencil. But this is going to be a little tricky because we're on marker paper, and marker paper is super slick. But I've been watching, I can't think of her YouTube channel, and she does all of her color pencil art on the smoothest paper she can find, which is a conundrum to me because I hate coloring with color pencil on smooth paper. Hate it. And she's totally the opposite. She hates coloring with color pencil on textured paper. So maybe there's something there and I need to learn. So let's do this. Let's color this leaf here, which is mostly deep grays, which would tell me we needed deeper tones, right? So let's pick one of our deeper oranges. Don't want to go too deep. Maybe, oh, that's my Blick. Let's get Blick out of here. Maybe this one. Let's start here and try some color pencil.
Kenneth said that happened to him. He used a dark color, like you said, and his ornament looked like a blob.
Let's see if that happens to me here. Maybe I've just made a horrible mistake. We're going to find out.
And Gail was asking about, she wanted to see you use colored pencils on this. And so I mentioned that our first hour was on Facebook using colored pencils. So if you want to go to facebook.com/coloringbliss, you can catch a replay of that. And Mystic Sparkle Wings said, speaking of tools, Jennifer, I was wondering if sometime you could look into recreating an old tool called the Rainbow Sponge. I've been experimenting and would love to see your take on it.
I saw Chloe Rose Art. I think that's her YouTube channel. Chloe with a CH. She bought it off of eBay or something like that and did I'm an 80s child remembering my 80s days and did a thing with it. A thing? Why does that leaf look like it's got a cut out of it?
Yeah, it was just the background.
Did I color the background? I should have looked at the original image to see why this did what it did. Anyway, carry on. Anyway, I saw her playing with the original one. She bought like an original one. So I know what you're talking about. I keep coloring outside the lines. That's okay, because I was planning on taking a black marker and doing a border around the whole thing anyway to clean up all my oopses. That was my plan, in case I didn't share that. I had a plan for my oopses, so they're not oopses. Okay, so we're flooding this whole thing with this orange, and the veins and everything are still showing, so I'm okay. I'm okay. But whoa, all of a sudden I got hit with the smell of alcohol marker. Woo! Okay, maybe we can deepen it up a bit, or maybe we should just go straight to color pencil. Let's go straight to my Prismacolors now.
So Ray had an idea. She says, when you use your markers, use one you like and do a quick back and forth motion, leaving some white spaces, and use colored pencils and color in those white areas for highlights.
Good idea. That's a good idea too. Okay, I'm going in with my... I got all kinds of Prismacolors here we can play with. This is my tritone sets here. They need to be tucked in better so they don't get hurt. This is my portrait set here.
Mystic Sparkle Wing says the one Chloe bought was more of a kid's version.
Oh.
The one that she's talking about was by D. Gruenig.
Oh.
There's a whole video here on YouTube of her using it.
Okay. I'll have to go look again. That's funny that you saw that same one by Chloe Rose Art. That was a good video, wasn't it? It was fun. Okay, I think I'm going to go for kind of a brownish orange color. Let's see what PC943 looks like. That's a burnt ochre. I'm trying to make sure it's going to show up on here if we're going to go to the trouble. And I'm not looking forward to coloring on this. P1032. Yeah, that's a better one. Pumpkin orange. That's fitting. Let's try pumpkin orange. Let's see here.
Kenneth likes what you're doing and doesn't feel like you're overdoing the color.
Okay, good.
Patty asked if you've ever tried distress inks.
I have
Yes, you
a
have.
small set of them. I don't know if this is going to show up. It doesn't help that I'm on paper I don't like to use color pencil on. But I'm going to trust that one girl. I wish I could remember her channel.
Tatriana likes how on the yellow-orange one that the gray underneath makes it look really real because it has a bit of a green undertone. It looks kind of like a green undertone.
It's neat. It turned out really neat, didn't it? I wonder why it does that. What about the toner and the yellowish marker? What happened there? Because I didn't use any greens.
Well, Kenneth says that he over-rubbed the blue he used and it took away the grayscale.
Ah.
And Gail says that she saw you on Facebook and has been playing with marker and shading with pencils.
Oh, cool. Doing what I'm attempting here. I've got my pumpkin orange. And we used polychromos over on Facebook, and everybody was suggesting I try the Prismacolors for Grayscale. So that's what I thought we would try here if we had time, and now we do. And I don't even know, is it making any difference?
Susan asked, why does the gray go away? Too much ink?
I'm not sure. And look, it's brought up. That's interesting. I wonder if that was just a thing in the photo or if there was a flaw in the printing. Looks like a thread almost. Look, Steve.
Oh, interesting.
I wonder if that happened when it was printed.
Yeah. Polly asked if you've tried the Distress Oxide ink.
Let's see what I've got. I have way down here.
Stan loves those too. She says they're very vibrant.
That's what I've got. I don't have the oxides yet. Okay.
Joetta says, so beautiful.
Oh, you think so? I don't even know if this is making any difference. Did you hear Rose sigh? She's like, no, it's not making any difference, Mom.
So something that's interesting to me about like the original is, which of course, you know, as we said, you can color it however you want. But on the original, it's amazing to me how Leaves will have everything from dark, you know, really vibrant red to the really vibrant yellow all in one leaf.
Yeah. So I thought I would try this eggshell one and see if, like, this was looking almost fluorescent, and that's not the way the photo looked. That orange that I laid down. So I'm washing over it with this eggshell color to see if it tones it down and makes it look more like it's glowing. Is what I'm hoping. Let's see if it works.
Oh, Susan says her son gave her a small set of gelatos and she asked if you've ever used them and how does she use them? Just with a water brush?
I have a plan to do a video for you guys about gelatos. I haven't used them. I've got I think a kind of a bigger set and a smaller set. And I've pulled them out and I've played very briefly just so I could get the feel of them, so I knew kind of what they are. Knew what they are. I don't think that's a real sentence. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. But I haven't spent enough time with them yet to be able to say these are the techniques that I would tell you to try first. So my recommendation would be to do a little YouTube search and see how other artists are using them. But they are really fun. There are a lot of mixed media artists are using them in so many neat ways. That's one reason why I bought them. And oh, it's doing something really odd over here.
Amanda says, literally just got here. My first reaction was jaw on the floor. Stunning.
Oh, thank you.
And Destan says, I've used gelatos with my fingers, sponges, water, and brush.
Yeah.
Anything that will push it around.
Gelatos are like get your fingers in there and have fun with it kind of art tool.
Joetta likes how the color you're using brightens the leaf.
Yeah, this is helping. But look, it's going fluorescent again. It's very interesting. That orange is just really through everything I'm putting on here. And I'm really coming to the place where I'm like, I hate this paper for color pencils because there's no room to layer. I think I've got one layer, maybe two. And if this was my color pencil paper, I could do like 6 or 7 layers of color pencil. But you get 1 or 2 layers of color pencil with this kind of paper.
I don't know that you need to be so afraid of the really brights. I mean, like I said, the original is quite vibrant.
Are you
and bright.
telling me to just move on? Just stop being so worried about it? I'm trying to make the leaf feel a little more luminous, is what I was going for. My unluminescing in it.
Oh, yeah, how it... Sorry. The light really comes through the back there.
Yeah, and maybe it's okay. I swear that it's like I don't know what's going on. And I need to see the original.
Okay.
Will you bring it up? Because I want to see why this looks the way it is over here. Maybe I just need to color more of the leaves over here. So Steve's going to bring up the original and I can see what I did over here. Let me flip this around. So it's just a dark leaf back there. Well, what? I'm confused.
Are you talking about the one on the bottom?
Yeah, how I have that straight line on my leaf.
Yeah, the leaf was like that, and it's just the background.
Interesting.
That you're seeing there, and then, like you said, that one leaf is behind, and that's creating the shadow.
Okay.
Behind the other one.
Interesting. So I just need to color this other leaf that's behind. Okay, let's do it real quick. All right. If I lay in some color, maybe that would make it feel... Whoa, I picked a dark one. Oh, do you want to flip it back over, Steve? Let's all just sit and watch the original image. I'm laying in kind of a darker tone. I want to give it the feeling that this leaf is behind, which it is, but I want to encourage that feeling.
The Disco Panda asked if you've ever tried Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2 water-soluble crayons. She has a single one in purple, and they're so much fun.
I haven't yet. I've looked at them several times at my Blick.
Susan mentioned that the reason she asked about the gelatos is they look gray over Grayscale.
Oh. That would be really a fun experiment. Okay, I'm trying to create a bit of a shadow and things are not blending. Grab a lighter tone.
And Amanda says, I'll admit I was a bit intimidated by the Grayscale, but now I want to play.
Yeah. Think of it as a puzzle. Follow the gray as your clues. Look at Steve's images to guide you along. And you can always throw it out and reprint it and start again. It says a free download, so go download one and start playing and see what happens.
And Tammy likes how that orange spot looks like the sun is popping through.
So I kept fighting it, and maybe I just need to embrace it.
And Kenneth asked, do you always need to use a light, medium, and dark color when using pencil?
No, you don't. There are things that you can do that will make coloring easier. So I have videos on here on YouTube about blending, and they show you my tricks. Like I have Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, shows you how to get a good blend, and you know you can get a single pencil to do a good gradient from light to dark, and that's great. But it's kind of just a flat one tone, right? One volume, one feel to that one pencil, right? So if you add in a light, medium, and a dark pencil, you get different variants and different feels, and it just adds more dynamic feeling to your coloring. So it just pops things up a notch. And with alcohol markers, you think of this little vessel as holding ink, right? And it's just one tone of ink. And so that's why I was talking about needing multiple tones, multiple in between, so that you can get those blends. Yeah, it just makes it easier. So that's why pencil sets are sold in so many. You get 100 pencils in one set, so you get lots of light, mediums, and darks, and you can build these tones and get lots of good dynamics and good blends and everything. So yeah, it just makes things a little easier.
Ruthie has a nice comment. She says, Jennifer, Coloring Bliss was the first channel I came across 2 years ago, and I'm so thankful that I did. You're an inspiration. Love all that you teach me. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, Ruthie. I can't believe we've been around here that long. I was watching Inktober from 2017 and realized that was before I was putting myself in front of the camera. That was a year ago, and now I'm brave enough to be face to face with you guys, and I'm here in my new studio, and I don't know, it's pretty cool to go back and look at the older videos. And I said, what was I had a tick word that I was using a lot.
Oh, I don't remember.
There was a word that I used a lot, and I think I've trained myself not to use it. And I was with my tongue a lot in the old videos, and I've trained myself not to do that quite as much, although it still comes out ever so often.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I used to do, of course, I used to call color pencils pencil crayons, because I grew up in Canada, and that's what they're called in Canada. So I used to call them pencil crayons in the olden days of YouTube. And so, yeah, I've been around for quite a while now. It's kind of cool to go back and see all that old content. The other thing is I go back and that content is still so, so there's so much good there. Like I was putting out a lot of really good information back then, and I'm pretty proud of what I did back then. I had lots of bumbles, and I wasn't brave enough to be in front of the camera and all of that, but the content itself is very valuable and still really pertinent, so pretty proud of that.
Shira says, just today I was thinking of trying out Grayscale, so you guys trying this on live was just perfect.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And Amanda says, you look very beautiful and loves that headband.
Thank you. Yes, I thought, instead of a necklace today to go with Bob, I would wear this. I wonder if Bob ever wore a headband in his afro.
Yeah. Jean and Kenneth and Tammy and lots of people saying, yeah, thank you. And you were also one of the first people they started watching and coloring. And
that's awesome.
I sure appreciate you as a teacher. So
I love it. I never, what would we do without YouTube? I mean, I'm too sick to be a teacher outside in the real world. So this is like a miracle to me. YouTube is a miracle that I get to teach you guys, and I can do it from the comfort of my home in my socks with my feet elevated and
your Bob Ross t-shirt.
And the Bob Ross t-shirt. And I totally think, don't you guys think Bob Ross would have been a YouTuber if he was alive? If he was our age in this generation, he totally would have been a YouTuber.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he would have been. Yeah. he would have been a YouTuber, because this is just so his thing, being with people face to face, sharing his passion and his joy. And so, yeah, I think, grew up watching Bob Ross and grew up just loving art. And then I was exposed to art in school and didn't get a good experience there and felt like I wasn't an artist. And then, life brings you full circle and around. And now here I am. I'm on YouTube teaching art. What a life. Life is amazing. So I'm just so grateful that you guys joined me today with testing some coloring tips and learning together with Grayscale coloring. Don't forget to come and get this page and practice. Come and share on our Facebook group if you guys download this and try it. Steve and I would love to see it. Steve is always in the group too. I think you guys see him in there liking the pages and stuff. Yeah. So I'm sure he would love to see what you guys do with his photography as well. So make sure you do that, and I want him to take a whole bunch more photos for us and make us another volume. So we need to do that. You need to do that for us, Steve.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I am so impressed and impressed by all the people doing the Inktober.
Yeah.
Like just being so brave to draw something, like that's something I just don't dare do, And so when I see other people putting themselves out there, I just think it's very courageous, and I really admire and respect that. So it's been a lot of fun to see that on the group.
Yeah.
In our Facebook group. So
yeah, like I said, it doesn't even matter if what you draw is, if you feel like it's just like, the most basic drawing ever, it doesn't matter, because people are just going to be impressed that you even did anything. Because it's like Steve says, it's like really brave to put yourself out there and try something new. So
yeah, I think it really has to be when we all grew up with art in school or something. Like there's such a fear associated with it for me personally.
Yeah.
Just feeling like there's no way that could be good enough to put out there. So yeah, it's pretty amazing, all the people who are willing to get out there and embrace that, and it's very courageous.
Yeah. So don't forget those 3 tips I put at the beginning for day 3, my 3 tips. I put them in the description. So if you are being brave and doing Inktober with me, I did that for myself too, because we all need to remember those 3 tips. I'll bring them back up here again. I've got them right here. Since we are talking again, is it doing the right way? Good. So don't compare yourself too much, because you will get frustrated and intimidated. Give encouragement to other people who are doing Inktober, and celebrate whatever you accomplish. So celebrate each day that you finish, and celebrate even if you decide to quit or something, that's okay, because life happens, and just celebrate that you did even a little bit of Inktober. So that's my advice.
Yep, and Susan was able to jump on tonight for a little bit, and so I want to send her our love, and
yeah,
she's had a real hard year. So
Susan's had a hard year. We all give you a big colorful love from the Coloring Bliss family, so we're thinking of you, Susan. So anyway, I think that's it for us tonight, and make sure you join us next Wednesday for our next live event. I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on. I think that's it for now. So
there'll be an extra special live event next week.
It is. It's going. I'm not gonna. Don't spoil.
I was just about to.
Were you?
I probably would have. Yeah.
I caught him just in time. But yeah, next Wednesday is going to be very different. It's going to be very different. So make sure you come and join us. I'm not quite sure how it's all going to happen. So it's going to be fun. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Got to join us next week to find out.
Yeah. Are you going to take us out? See if you remember my catchphrase.
No, you better go for it.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful, colorful, blissful night. Bye-bye, you guys.